It's really tough to get an educational healthcare plan because of the strain that the services are under, because of the lack of funding that's coming down to the departments and how they're spending that money. So it tends to be you get the support at the point of absolute failure, or what happens until that point is that children seem to be experiencing extreme difficulties in education. The staff are experiencing difficulties because they're not trained necessarily to meet some of the SEND needs. And ultimately, we have to accept that we live in a society where educational needs and disabilities have to be met. I mean, the work that I've undertaken and I've looked at shows that there is failures within meeting legislation under the 2010 Equality Act. There are failures in meeting legislation under the Children and Family Act 2014 and the SEND Codes of Practice, that's statutory guidance, which is it's not quite legislation, but it's highly advisable directives that should be taken. And I think there are so many people that are struggling. Children are struggling, teachers are struggling. Who is supporting these kids? I know cases where helicopters have been called out to look for kids in trauma. And I know cases where there have been 3 or 4 police officers supporting a young person in trauma, certainly in West Devon, when they've said to me, look, we had this situation develop. We've arrived at a situation. There are no more police officers in this part of Devon to support other incidents because the funding has been cut so severely. I know families that have waited for years. I have waited for one of my children to be supported constantly, effectively, and professionally for a number of years now by CAMHS, and short-term interventions have been put in place, but long-term quality ongoing support was not put in place. Why is that? How desperate does a family and a child have to be? And my experiences, both as a parent, as a campaigner, as someone working for a political party, is just an honest lived experiential experience.